Okay, beautiful. I'm just going to connect the chats. All right, I'm going to check YouTube as well. Okay, and we are live. Yay! Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay. All right. So my Facebook is here, and I'm just going to check YouTube. So I'll send you that link. Yeah. Why do I send you this link? Okay. All right. I've just sent you the YouTube link. Iman, I've sent you the YouTube link.
Lovely.
Okay. Beautiful. All right. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday. We still have 2 minutes before we hit the hour. Okay, I have with me the lovely Iman Adnan. Iman, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, that would be I'm just going to. Oh, I can hear myself now. Can
Hello,
everyone
everyone.
see us? Hear you okay? Hear me okay?
Yeah, I think the sound is good. Ready? So I'm Eman. I am mother first and a real estate agent, along with director of the Empower Learning Center, which is a learning center for kids. Um, and I'm very glad to be on the show.
Thank you, Iman, for being here. And we have a very crucial topic today: time management for busy moms, right? Trying to juggle life, kids, appointments, driving them, and also our work. Time management is something that I struggle with. I have a very good friend in Mexico, Carla. She and I keep talking about how do we manage our time? Like, there are not enough hours in the day, right? That's how I feel sometimes. Like, I need to buy time, I need more time. And then sometimes you have time and you're like, should I nap? Should I fold the clothes? Should I do this? Or should I just, just leave everything and just be? It's so difficult sometimes to get everything done in the day. And we put so much pressure on ourselves, and we have this mom guilt. And it took me forever to get rid of the mom guilt. It's still there a little bit, and it's a good thing. I think it's a healthy bit left in me. But
Mhm.
so tell us how can you help us today?
So, I mean, generally with the so much on just like everybody else's plate, it's the same for me, but I think I worked a lot on my mindset. Um, I kind of like grew up with perfectionist parents who were running around the clock, and as growing up, like I just didn't agree with the way that they were living their life or just running their businesses and putting everything like their family or home in the back seat, or taking care of things later, or missing things that are important that makes life so beautiful. Um, so I always wanted to be a mom, but I also wanted to have like a drive or passion for something other, something outside of my house, something for myself that like fills my cup as well. So, but I had to be fair with my kids. If I'm having that choice of having kids, then I have to do my due diligence and also raise them well. So I had always decided that once my youngest started going to school full time, um, I needed to do something um, for myself. Uh, I have 6 hours. How can I best utilize it? What would be my, like, what would I be passionate about? And that's when everybody started suggesting to go into real estate, because I was already doing investing previously as well. And I just had acquired a lot of knowledge, and I would be natural. So I started studying for my license, and once I got it, then I kind of understood how that schedule works. Um, and with that, you would just prioritize what things would come first, and they need to be tackled during the day, who needs attending to, and just go with the flow in that sense.
Iman, I know just like me, you're always on the go, 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 more than me, actually. I've heard how your day actually progresses. So, how do you manage it? Like, give us some strategies on how you manage and prioritize things because everything feels important, right?
So I think there's two things. That either you can create a routine, or you can do it through, like, when you prioritize what things you need to do during the day. So for me, number one thing, as soon as I get up in the morning, I need at least half an hour of quiet time, because as soon as we get up, we're like programmed in the way that we got to do this and we got to do that and we have that appointment. I shut that noise right in the morning, and I give myself time. I build myself strong. I talk to myself. I have this dialogue that, okay, there's a lot of things to tackle today, but you can manage it all. It's all going to be over in like 12 hours and you'll be back to sleeping. So it's really like calming your nervous system at first.
Mm,
Sometimes what I would also like to do is I'll go out for a walk, half an hour slow walk. Best time to do it is either in the morning, to you, and have that time to yourself.
mm,
And um, then it's obviously okay. I need to make sure the kids have everything for school. Um, the thing with being an entrepreneur and in being in real estate is you can choose to, and you can design your life around it, which is why I never wanted to go into an 8 to 5, you know,
mm,
because that just means me being stuck in a hamster wheel, and I'm not good with that. So I always wanted to do something where I can choose my own hours. And the best part about this kind of life is that it comes with flexibility. Clients are understanding if you need to cancel for any reason. Um, when it's got to do with something business related, you can delegate it to somebody else, or you can do it another day. But for me personally, my priority is always at first like taking care of some spiritual aspect of mine, so praying. My kids, home needs to be maintained well. Like I don't go into the squeaky clean and elbow grease and all that. It just needs to be maintained and well organized. But
clutter
I'm
free.
yeah, clutter free. But I'm not gonna think too much about it. A lot of moms are like, oh, the house needs to be spick and span. If you have kids in the house, uh, something in your life needs to feel like it's lively, you know. So
Yep.
when my kids are being rowdy and they're making mess, like my eldest is an artist, so you have to accept that if he's working on a painting, there's gonna be paint, you know, and you can't finish a painting in one day, so it's going to be there for like a week. But I'm not going to interrupt his process just because I want my house to be clean. The house can be clean any other time, you know. So for me, the mess, not that it's always messy, but it doesn't bother me. I teach my kids, once you're done with something, just keep it in
Mm,
a way that it looks nice, you know. um Delegation is very important as well. I think running a house and running a business are similar, right? Everybody living in the house is also responsible of taking care of the house. So as a family, our routine is that before we go to sleep, we spend about an uh, hour to half an hour in generally keeping taking care of things, putting things away, making the living room neat, the kitchen is all tucked away, so that when we come down in the morning, we don't see clutter, which also affects your, yeah,
absolutely. The first
yeah.
thing in the morning. Yeah. Delegation. I mean, and I just wrote that down when you said it. It's so important. Like for me, I was like a one man show kind of thing. I want to do the accounts, the marketing, the admin, everything. And I was like, no, no, it's like I was a control freak. And then I was like, okay, I can't do everything because after doing all of that, I reached a burnout. So when do I actually do my sessions with the clients, right? So then I just like, okay, I need to let go. So then I finally hired some virtual assistants around the globe and got some admin work done. It started with small things, and then now I have a wonderful, wonderful VA who's taken most of my tension away, and now I'm able to be 100%, show up for my clients and actually have time to do the sessions without being burned out. So delegation, I feel, you mentioned it, Iman, that it is so important, and to just let go of that control and say, you know what, it's going to get done. Maybe it's not the way I would like the process, but eventually it is going to get done, and that's what's important, right? So I think that's a very important point for all moms out there and everybody out there, actually, is just to somehow let go of the control. And I'll speak for myself. I had to let go of control and not see the process of how it's happening, but at the end of it, this is my goal. And I've given my husband to do this, or my kids to do this, or my VA to do this, and it's going to get done. Now I had to let go of how it's going to get done, because it's not done most of the time. It's not done the way I would have done it, but that's okay. And that's, I think, a very important point, to just let go of control and just let it be, and eventually you will, that thing or whatever the task is eventually will get done. Very important, delegating. And you can supervise sometimes as well, and it's sometimes very painful to watch the process happen, but like I said, eventually it's going to get done. So that's awesome. So yes, delegation is super important when it comes to the go life that we live, especially in this part of the world. At least back home we have help. But when I speak to people back home who have help, that's another task for them. They're like, you know what, it's not as easy as you think. We
No.
have to still watch them and instruct them, and that's another work on its own. So interesting, right?
The
The
thing is
focus.
that like my mom, like she was running her own business, and we had a cook, we had a driver, we had a cleaning staff, everything. And
Hmm.
yet I didn't see my mom enjoy her life as much. She was maybe twice as more stressed than what I see women dealing here, or what I deal with personally, even though she had all that help, you know. We had tutors that come in that were taking care of our academics, and still I didn't see my mom relax. So I think it all comes down to your mindset, right? It's not about doing more and more and more, but it's about putting systems in place that
Yeah.
multiply your efforts, right? So you can't, you just need to get. And then the other thing is dealing with this, what you saying is control, but what I see it is being a perfectionist. Our
Yes.
kids need to be perfect, our house needs to look perfect, or the food that we cook needs to be perfect. There has to be cooked food from, like, fresh, from the house. And any woman that thinks about ordering in every single day, is just generally not taking care of the house a lot. There are role models from my life, and there's one in particular. She made partner for Ernst and Young in the Middle East, and I would generally, like, whenever I went to her house, I would see how is she managing it all.
Mm.
um, and she told me at that time that number one thing is, so what if you have to, it's the point is to eat, right, and to eat well. If you can get it from outside and you can afford to do it, why not? So the first year that I took to set up my center, um, I think most of the days we were eating, we were ordering in, right? Or otherwise, I would do batch cooking over the
Mm.
weekend. But it's like you kind of have to think, where do you take the most time in making decisions that could be dealt with quickly, and you can save them time, you know.
Yeah, making decisions. See, I'm a Libra, so that's for us.
Don't, don't go into that.
For us to make a decision for ourselves is like a nightmare. Okay, for
Mm.
others, and that's why we're good coaches, because for others we can go boom, boom, boom. You're doing this. You're doing this. You're doing this, and delegating work. But when it comes to ourselves, we're like, should I wear white or should I wear black? Should I wear blue? Should I wear gray? This
Oh,
the
oh,
things.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think this is the first thing that flew out the window once I started getting busy. Is I just simplified my way of dressing. There's like four or five outfits that I have. And I don't know if people watching me generally on my social media channels and everything is that I always have these black pants. They go with everything. So in the morning, literally my decision time of getting dressed is like 30 seconds.
Wow. Wow,
Yeah,
that's amazing. Yeah, I think if we yeah, pre-planning is also one of the things, right? Just
yeah,
like pre-plan the menu for the week and get your groceries done for the week, so at least you're not running last minute. Well, I did run last minute yesterday because I thought I had something and I didn't. So I'm like, oh my God, I had to run out and get it again. Not like we have back home. We just make a phone call and say, hey, can you just the nice mulbaris that we have in Dubai back home, and okay, can you bring this one thing? That's not happening. And it was difficult first 2 years when I moved here. I was like, culture shock. I have to go
mm,
get stuff myself. So yeah, support system is very important, right? To get stuff done, especially like I said, in this part of the world, it's just on you, dropping kids, picking up kids. And then there are obviously these unexpected disruptions that happen while your work. For you example, if you have a showing to do, or if I have a client, and this has happened, but I've logged in and I'm about to start the session and I get a call from the school, hey, your daughter's throwing up, come pick her up. And I was like, and to your point, the clients are very, very flexible. They understand life happens. So it's a good thing that even the clients are kind of our support system as well when it comes to these things. So yeah, I've actually done that. Left a session and said, I'm so sorry, I'll add in an extra session for you, but I do have to go pick up my daughter because my husband works in North York, so there's no way that he can come all the way. It's about an hour's drive, so it's
yeah.
all on me. The appointments, the pick and drops, and everything. So I'm like, I'm an Uber driver, I'm a chef, I'm a cook, I'm everything here, which is nice because it's like, who else, right? And my husband's very supportive, so like support system is so 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 important.
Yeah.
Iman, do you have any tools or apps or any system that you follow or you recommend that we can actually, implement in our lives to make our lives a little bit more easier?
So see, the thing is that for me, if I have to be bogged down to like a certain time, or I have to like make a checklist and I'm
Mm,
checking it off, or there's like I'm just not good with it. I take things as they come, and then I see how best I can tackle it. That's how I do it. Because for me, this looks more like I'm breathing in my life. Otherwise, anything that, okay, this needs to get done and that needs to get, not good for me. I'm not a pleasant person to deal with. So when I get any clients that come during the day, I think the number one thing they train you in real estate is never to get pulled by any unexpected client and they say, oh, you have to come down and show me this house now. Or no, you set a time, an appointment that works for you. Um, and that's how you do it. But generally, to keep things sane, because we are in our 40s and we forget everything, it's
you
just you,
bet.
just my phone, appointments in my calendar, and notes. That's it. Sometimes I'll have like a monthly planner
Mm.
where I have all the important things just to see what my month looks like. Sometimes that, but nothing fancy.
That's interesting because I've heard that if it just in your mind, if you have all these to do things to do, you get more anxious and stressed. And well, business coaches have said to write them down so you have a visual, and then when you start crossing them out, it feels like you've achieved something. So that's something a little different than what you're telling us.
Different strokes for different folks. I know my managers, my team leaders, they have a huge, my business partner, they have a huge problem with this. But I've explained it to them that this is counterintuitive for me if I start doing this. It's like, give me the job, it will be done, it will be done well, you know? But if you expect me to like, I just can't. It's just something
It's not
I
you.
yeah, it's just I don't follow my finances. I generally I just know, okay, there is a certain thing. Okay, I'll see where things went wrong. I'll go do that. And but generally I'm not into this list and writing down and everything.
Oh, that is interesting. Um, So it's a 50-50 for me. And sometimes I like to go with the flow like you. And sometimes I'm like, okay, now this is getting very overwhelming. I have to write this down. And then I put it down on paper. And then, Zishan, my husband's like, okay, now you have to strike it off so you know that you've done it. And then you feel that, little your dopamine high or whatever it is. And you're like, okay, I've achieved something today. Yay. Kept the kids alive. Yay. That kind of
Yeah.
thing. So
I
yeah,
think generally keeping, so I've been with mothers and they have this big calendar on their
Mm,
wall and they're writing everything down. And for me, just that act is stressful enough, you know?
okay.
And I
Yeah.
think my main idea is how can I reduce the stress on me? Um, and generally, yeah, I just like go with the flow.
I like that. I like the going with the flow thing. So I have something called Time Tree. It's a calendar app, a Google Calendars, and it's like our whole family is on it. So anything that goes in, everybody knows. All right, I'm busy from this time to this time, or my daughter puts it in, and I know, okay, she's got this thing that we need to take care of. So it's a good. I guess again, one of the support systems that people know when I'm busy or I know when they are not available or available. So that's a good thing. So it's called Time Tree if anybody's interested in that, and you can have your whole family on it as well.
I have a
I was-
WhatsApp, but I'm gonna check that out.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. All right, what advice can you give us? Okay, so with Iman, I've known her for a few years now, and we are working on a few projects, and one of them is a podcast that we're coming up, and I'll let Iman talk about it in a minute, but I just want to tell you that when we came up with the idea, we were on the phone, we were texting each other, and I was actually getting ready to go out, and this girl, she was on the go. Like she came up with the idea, she came up with all the topics, she came up with the logo, she came up with the name and everything. I think within half an hour, the time that I was getting ready, and I was like trying to reply to her, and then she's like texting me, and I'm replying to her, and she's texting me. I'm like, whoa, this girl is on the go. Like she is brilliant and super fast when we wanna with when she comes up with an idea. And I think by the end of that night, while I was at the event, we had like a huge list of topics from her, and her creative juices were just flowing. And it was brilliant. So she's brilliant with ideas and implementing stuff. Like she takes action, and I love that about her. So Iman, I'm going to let you talk about the podcast. If you want to inform our audience about it a little bit.
Oh, so it's gonna be called 40 something. Um, and the idea just generally came by because at the center, I'm talking to a lot of moms, my real estate clients, my friends, everybody. Because we started coming up with these general concepts that 40 something women are still struggling with. Um, there's a lot of like controversial topics as well. And I think these topics, I don't want to give away too much, but these topics need to be dealt with in a way because there are answers to what we're dealing with in our 40s. Uh, but it's just that I don't see that information out there as readily available. So I see 40 something women struggling a lot. Um, and it's just my way of saying, let's do something about it.
Yeah, let's discuss. Let's put ideas out there. Let's find solutions. So that was a brilliant idea that Iman came up with. So thank you, Iman. And interestingly, when I was turning 40, I was 39. I was like, oh, I'm turning 40. I was so excited about it. Life will finally begin at 40. Yeah, so much, right? So I turned 40 and I'm enjoying starting. So my birthday is October, so I'm starting to enjoy the remaining of the October that I have. And suddenly I hit midlife crisis. The who am I syndrome. The what do I do with life now? Because the kids are kind of independent. I have a good established career, mashallah, and life is settled. But then I was like, okay, I'm starting to question now. Who am I? Who am I? Because I've been a mom, a sister, a wife, friend,
It,
yada yada
it
yada. But who am I?
happens at 40, you know. It this just happens at 40. I don't know why it just creeps up on you, and all this time you're like, I never asked this question, and
Yeah.
now it's like, who am I? And it's the hardest thing that you can do is self-respect. Look at your life in retrospect and decide what is the sum total of who you've become. You know,
Exactly.
and I think that's why the midlife crisis also triggers in. We become nervous if we're not generally in tune with ourselves, and it's like, who was I all these years? Yeah,
Who am I? What do I like? What do I like?
it
Right?
freaks you out. It
Yeah,
and it's unnerving, and so I think at 40, if you don't have like a general idea of like your belief system, your morals, principles that you've been standing on for so, it just, people get lost, and when they get lost, it's
it's not pretty. Let me just put it that way. Because then what happened was, and this is what I want to advise to anyone below 40 who's listening, watching live or on replay, is that please, 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 please take out me time for yourself. That is so important. And
be
they'll say, "Oh,
self
I don't have time, me time." Sorry, say that again.
be selfish about it. I tell this to so many like women. There is nothing wrong with taking time out for yourself and doing something you enjoy, even if it's your job or your passion or your hobby or whatever. Don't, when something, oh, we're too busy, the kids. I don't buy that. I think they should be very selfish about, because how can you give, being in a role of like a caregiver requires you to have something inside yourself that you can offer, you can give. If your cup is empty, how can you give, how can you pour into other people's cup then?
Absolutely. And that's
So
what we end up doing, and we reach a burnout, because then you're like, I don't have any more. I just give, 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 but I do not recharge myself. So, Iman, you know what I did? So when I hit my, and I think I mentioned this before, I hit my midlife crisis, and I just didn't know what to do, where to go. And I just packed my bags, and I went to London, UK, to visit my friend Jan, who I've never met. She was my online friend. And I was like, dude, I'm coming. I just packed my bags off. Please, guys, don't do that. I'm crazy. But my I have a wonderful support system. So my husband knew what I was going through, and before depression really hit and reached rock bottom, I just took a solo trip. Oh my God, the stuff that people told me. What kind of a mother are you? Your kids are so young. You're leaving them, and this is not what people do. This is not how in our culture, this is not something anyone does. How could you do this? I'm like, I just shut everybody's comment suggestions that were given to me at that time. I'm like, dude, I'm doing this. Let's
practice
see. And I
the
kid you not, I went there for 5 days, and all I did was I sat on the beach over there, and I just zoned out. And I just enjoy, I was just present in the moment. No kids calling me, nothing. Well, obviously I did keep in touch with them. And just to let you guys know, my husband's very supportive, and he was taking care of the kids, and the kids were semi-independent as well. So I was able to take this trip. But like I said, don't be crazy like me. But yes, but when I came back, Iman, I'm not even kidding. I was super recharged. I was so much more happier. Yes, mom guilt hit, and I had a whole suitcase of stuff for my kids. And after that, every year I took a solo trip. Like I told them, don't call me, I will call you. Okay.
Mm,
I will
yeah.
let you know, okay, I'm alive, and I'll just, take see how you guys are doing. Of course, they are my kids. And like I said, my mashallah, my husband's very supportive. So he was like, okay, are you okay? Do you need anything? I just want to disconnect from everything and everyone, all the responsibilities, and I just want to find myself. You know how they say. And honestly, that 5 day trip was definitely a game changer for me. I was so much more happy because I had recharged. I had filled my cup now, and I was
Mm,
now able to give. I was a happier mom and a wife and a friend. So it is very important to, again, like I said, don't take a 5 day trip like me, but at least if you can take out maybe say half an hour a day for yourself, first thing in the morning like Iman does, or the last thing that you do. I mean, sometimes I would go out for a coffee and drive 11 o'clock in the night once the kids are in bed, husband's asleep. I was like, we are night owls, Iman and I. So
mm.
I would just go out for a drive, listen to my music, and no traffic on the road, and I'm just going to enjoy myself, recharge, come back happy, or
Yeah,
whatever makes you happy. Even if it's just, Iman loves reading, reading a book, or even if you just take 15 minutes in a warm, nice tub just for yourself, where you just shut down everything and
like
reach.
the nighttime skincare routine, do it with like,
Absolutely.
like make it therapeutic for yourself. Even if you're like, let's say you're cooking something, cook something that you wanted to eat for and make it like a slow process, slow it down, take a walk. But every single day, like if people can't take just take off and go to a vacation, go out with a friend, take a spa day or something like that. But
Yeah.
definitely be selfish with your time that you need to give to yourself.
Yeah, like Saturdays, I don't do anything. I don't lift a finger. I don't cook. I don't clean. Of course, I want to spend. That's my time with spending time with my family. So we go out or we do some things or whatever. It's like I'm not gonna do anything work wise on Saturdays. This Saturday is different, but yeah. Um, so it's, yeah, please, mom guilt. Just put that away. Just half an hour a day. Do
I
something for
swear.
yourself.
I swear. So this morning I was thinking that how we feel all these depression and guilt and we're not perfect and we're losing control. Imagine those are just thoughts coming to our head. And they're if they can come as easily, why can't we bring in positive thoughts every single day just as easily? It takes just as much as effort, you know? But why are we so always in tune to like to go to the negative and I'm not doing well and I'm not doing this as much and
Because
stop
Iman, we are programmed to be ready for the
that.
worst case
Yeah,
scenario. So we're always at the edge of our seat, fight,
yeah.
flight, freeze kind of thing. And then we're like, okay, so that's how we're programmed. But we need to kind of unlearn or unhypnotize, dehypnotize ourselves from
Yeah.
that mindset to something like, you know what's going to happen. And it's not the end of the world. And if it's the end of the world, then it doesn't matter. Right?
See, the best thing for that is to look at where you're standing today and think about all the past times that you have been worried or things were not working out. Where are you today? Somehow all those things have been taken care of, right? Maybe with your effort or with some divine effort, intervention, but it has been taken care of. So whatever you do today, all the worries you have are actually unnecessary unless there is one, you take action and you try to solve the problem, or you let it go and you let nature take its course and it'll resolve on its own sometimes.
And that's so important to just let go and just trust the process of, you
Just
know what, it's going to happen. If it doesn't happen, it's okay. It is okay. Letting go. And, just once you let go, so many times I've had to actually remind myself, what, just drop your shoulders, take a deep breath in, unclench your jaw.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Right?
I have a problem.
I know, exactly. So if anyone watching right now on live or replay, please just drop your shoulders. Let's take a deep breath in.
Are my shoulders dropped?
I'm always like this. And just
I have a
unclench your
shoulder
jaw.
problem. I don't.
We need to put an alarm in our phones to reminder, unclench your jaw.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then sometimes I wake up, with tense jaws because I've slept with a stressful feeling or thought. So again, it's important to just unwind even in the night and just think about all the good things that have happened in your day. Just go through the whole day, be grateful. Great gratitude is so, so, so important. So important to
Very.
attract
Yeah.
to kind of unwind and also to attract good things in your life, because the more grateful you are for something. And donations, these are the two most things. Donating and gratitude, this is what I tell my clients. You just, even if it's just $1, just donate, and it just makes you feel so much better inside as well. And being grateful for even the smallest things, like I had a clean fresh glass of water today, so that's absolutely amazing. The kids didn't fight today, so that's amazing. Or I was able to provide kids with a healthy, dinner today. That's amazing. Anything small, anything big, just be grateful. Just go through the whole day. Just be grateful for all the things. But now you're focusing on the good things instead of the bad things. And the more you do this, your brain starts focusing on the good things, and you'll see the silver lining in every situation.
For what works for me is like generally when I'm feeling uneasy, I just go through all like the women groups, mom groups, and I just go through their stories. And when I see what they're dealing with, I'm like, okay, my problem is not as bad. I can fix this. That I can fix. So like my heart goes out to these people, but uh, generally, yeah, when you tend to like, I think when we compare, we have this thing of somebody's doing so well and better than us. We tend to go there. but instead do the opposite and see how well you're doing compared to other people. And I think that would do wonders for us.
That is beautiful. Yeah, exactly. We tend to focus on the ones who are doing better than us, and there will always be somebody who's doing better than us. But if we focus on people who are actually, well, not focus, but if we hear their stories and we're like, oh my God, I'm so much better. You'd be thankful and grateful that you're not in that situation. I know what you're talking about. I've read of so much about abuse and the situations that they're in, and there's no help for them. There's nothing.
Yeah.
They can't get out of that situation even if they try, and that's so unfortunate. But that's we also have groups that help such people as well, which is great. And it's also one of the reasons why we're coming up with the podcast as well, is to discuss these things that are not openly discussed. And on that note, if anybody has any topics that they would like us to talk about, please put them in the chat. That would be amazing. Anything controversial, Iman is just out there.
Oh, I am there. Let's
She
do
is there, ready, steady, go. And we're super excited. We'll be starting this next week ish.
it. Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to start this next week, and we will announce it, and obviously we'll put it up on our social medias as well. Great. I'm just so excited about this podcast, Iman, and what it can do, how it can change lives, and that's what we want. And we will also have guest speakers as well, discussing different topics. We'll have men discussing topics as well. That
It's the part I'm waiting for, the
yes,
men.
we'll have men on our as guest speakers as well, discussing on. Should I just give it away?
But more so, like, all why I had that idea and why I reached out to my friends to come on to this podcast is to also understand what they are going through, because they have their own perspective that's worth hearing, and
Right.
it's an eye opener as well. We tend to always be like women focused, and things are happening to us and it's bad and stuff, but it's equally bad for men as well. So I think it would only be fair, and that's why it's 40 something, but it's not only for women, it's for men too. And I think our generation of men need to speak out.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to get both perspectives as to, because we think from one side. Okay, let's hear their perspective. What do they think about this? And if it, just to,
But how
yeah.
many men do you know who speak on their issues, on what they're dealing with in
No, but then
general?
we're not allowed to, right? We were never allowed to as men,
No,
as boys.
because they're worried they may look weak. And
Yes.
that's the stigma that we need to break.
Yeah. Because men are not allowed to emote. They're not allowed to share their feelings. Boys don't cry. Men don't cry. Nope. Nope. Every time I've done a session with a male member of the society, they've cried. They've cried, and it was like, initially they were like trying to stop. I'm like, dude, don't resist. This is it. This is the breaking point. Cry it out. Release it because you
Yeah.
need it.
You know what? Secure men cry. It's
But
like,
mm,
yeah, for some people you need to pull it out, like during your sessions with your clients and stuff, maybe. But I've seen generally men who are criers, like other people will be like, oh, they're so weak and they're so, but I think they're secure. If they're able to cry in front of people, I think they're secure. They should.
yeah, there's nothing wrong with crying. It's a good release.
Because
And
imagine the things that are bottling up in a man who does not have that release, and how they lash out to their family, on their
mm,
family. That is bad. And I think that's something that we also need to break.
absolutely, I agree with you.
There's
All right.
danger coming.
Do you feel men also go through the this juggling of family life, and I'm not talking about single dads out there. I'm just talking.
They look to us. That's what the wife is there for, or the partner is there for. She's handling it. They're good. See, that's the part that women don't understand. Men are good if you give them the instructions, and they're like, okay, this is the one job that I have to do. They're good with the delegation. So I think if people, and I pray that people have such husbands, that give them some of your load, and it'll make your life easy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And they need clear instructions, right? This is how it should be done.
Yeah.
Let's not get into that right now. Leave that for the podcast. All right, beautiful. I love this. This is amazing. All right. Um, so having it all, that's one thing that you should, like you mentioned, being perfect and having it all and looking like, I don't know, perfect Stepford wife. No, Stepford wives were just wives. Like they weren't working. But handling career and then handling home, is there a smooth transaction where, and I know we have touched upon this, of course, but perfection and having it all. What do you think about that?
Oh boy. So the thing is you have to let go of that concept that your life will only be perfect if you had XYZ things in your life,
Hmm.
or the careers or whatever, right? You have to let go of that. You have to see what makes you, and the first things that I see that people don't enjoy um, their motherhood. They
Hmm.
don't. It is something very priceless. Taking care of your home, taking care of yourself, taking care of your kids, the smile, the laugh, the jokes that that come out of them, their innocence. It's you don't enjoy that, then you are losing out on all these opportunities that could make you happy in the day and gives you that fuel to keep going on. So I think you can have it all. Like you that's something my mom ingrained in me, that you can do anything you set your mind to, but it's how you manage it. And
Hmm.
number one, and the main thing is don't have high expectations. Like when I got into real estate, I didn't think that I was going to be like the top broker. That would be ideal, but I'm not chasing some dream. My dream was to utilize my time, and that's why I went into real estate. It was something that was I had knowledge about, and I could use it well. When I opened up my center, it was something that came very naturally to me to be around and to nurture kids. So I enjoy doing that. Whatever you enjoy, you can have it all. But you have to let go of this thing that, like, you have to be perfect at it, or there needs to be another bar that you need to set. And if you don't reach it, then we go. It's like yo-yo. Just be happy, just be complacent with where you are, and if you get to achieve a little bit more, good for you. But if you don't, it's not the end of the world.
Very well said. Okay. Just touching back on taking out me time. This it's a whole wellness. I'm not only mental, emotional, physical, spiritual. It's like the whole complete wellness. What are some of the ideas that you think we can do for me time?
I think every woman should take up boxing. Everybody.
Are you serious?
The strength. Look, you're not training to become a boxer, but
No, of course not.
just the individual exercises and the moves that you learn. I don't know what goes in your body, but you feel confident. You feel like you have strength. Your mind becomes so much more stronger. And once you, like, I did it for like 2 years before I had my health issue. Uh, but uh, when you start, it always starts with like learning the basic moves and then understand the intricacies of
Hmm.
how you can mix those moves. But then the third part, the third level, is understanding the philosophy behind boxing. And so much of it you can translate it into your own life if you think about it. So like there's like one move in boxing, like when somebody is coming to attack you, your natural response would be to save yourself and move back. But in boxing they teach you, when somebody is attacking you, the last thing they would think you would do is come forward. You jump. And then when you translate that into real life, it's isn't that what we do? Is like when we have a problem, we will retreat, we will feel the pressure or the weight of it. No, why don't we just move up and attack it? Let's deal with it now. So I started to make those connections and I really loved it. But then another thing, With our current diet, which is so bad,
Hmm.
with this phone addiction, how we're slowly becoming very lazy and lethargic, I think everybody should make it a must to have some sort of like a gym routine, or just go out for a walk. Just go. There's things that you can do at home: jumping jacks, get a few weights, start working your arms, do things at home, but make it an active lifestyle. That's what I would think. Other than that, anything that is like quiet your mind, read a book, meet a friend, listen to their story. There's so many times I hate, I actually don't like going out of my house. This is like my normal. But I love it when my friends are constantly like tugging and they're like, no, no, come on, come on, come on. Every time I do, I was like, what was I thinking? I am having such a great time listening to other people's story, getting to know another person, and then I come back revived. So I think having a circle of friends or like-minded people that you can connect with, find your tribe, is the best thing.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Because as humans, we love connection,
Mm.
right? And yes, sometimes my social battery will die down, and I'll need that recharge time. But again, that's my recharge time where I just want to be in my cocoon and just kind of do my thing, and then I'll be like out there again. Good suggestion on the sport.
Never
Yeah.
affects me.
So really, she's from Singapore, so she says, and I'm just going to put this on the thing. She says, good suggestion on the sport. So I think that also includes the somatic part of our healing, where anything that is a stuck energy or we want to vent out, boxing is amazing. So if you had a fight with your partner, you can just box, not him, but box it away. um, really says our energy is our currency. Protect your energy and find tribe that give and take to be
Mm.
balanced. It's beautiful. Yes, absolutely. Find your tribe. And that's very important to be with like minded people, because if you're not, then it's just going to drain your battery or your energy. And I'd just like to add a point here is protection, protecting your energy.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, like Wheelie said, it's so important because sometimes we give our energy to the wrong person and then we come home feeling depleted, or then it just takes us forever to recharge. So yes, find your tribe, find the right people who have good vibes, who you get along with. Not necessarily you have to be in the situation where you feel awkward or uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And it's very very important after 40, especially because I'm done with BS kind of thing, right? You're like, oh please, I just done. Because when you're growing up, you're trying to please people, you're the people pleaser, you agree with everybody anyone says, and could just want to be part of the gang. But I think after 40 they're like, whatever.
I think after 40, something else also kicks in is you're looking at how many more years do I have to live? You know, you become very selfish with your time, and I think as important as to use your energy as currency, I think you need to take ownership of your time and treat it as precious. Who do you give it to and who do you not? You have to be very picky with those things, because we
Absolutely.
don't have enough neurons in our brains to deal with the BS that is happening around us. And sometimes, no, you can't be that friend to that person who is constantly draining your energy.
Yeah, it's tough. Been there, done that, and it's like, forget it. Willie says, I have been a people pleaser for my whole life. Yeah, and it is very draining because you're not your authentic self then, right? You're just trying to be, you're trying to find acceptance, validation, and then you start being different characters with different people. And it's very tiring. It's exhausting. So just be your authentic self, and the right people
I
will
think
show
care
up.
if you want to care. If you don't want to care, don't do it. That's setting up your own boundaries. Is somebody I think it's again, you have to treat yourself as the owner of your life, which you are. People are like giving, 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 but it's more like, okay, do I want this in my life, or should I take this on? You have to be the decision maker of your life as well. People come and go. Nobody's going to get pleased. That's the Other than the guilt, the perfectionist attitude, this is the third thing that women need to lose is people pleasing. It's
Absolutely.
very short lived, and it's
Yes,
not
it
worth
is.
it.
And how long can you pretend, right?
Well, if
Exactly.
you're pretending, you shouldn't do it.
Exactly. That's why you have to be your true, authentic self.
Right?
Really says we can be kind people, but we should not be taken advantage of. We need to always draw a line or drop some people and find new friends that have some same wavelengths.
Um, yeah, sure. I mean, this is very subjective, but also that when you find a new circle, then you need to put in that time and effort. The friendship is only strong when you've put in that and efforts into it, and you have the trust and you have the respect. This is something that's so weird. Like our school friends or our friends in university, they can be easily trusted because of all that time we've spent with them. But in 40 something, I don't know if many people know, but there's something called breakups at 40, friendship breakups at 40, because we're constantly making new friends, and then after a certain incident or situation, we find out that we're not aligned um, in that sense, and then it's hard to go through that breakup as well, which is something we will discuss in our 40 something show.
On the podcast. It's coming up. Yes, I mean, again, anyone watching live or on replay, if you have any suggestions of topics, we already have a few, but it'd be interesting to hear from you guys what you want to hear about or discuss. That is something that is not openly discussed. We're trying to be very bold here
Mm,
and
push the
and discuss things.
ruffle
Uh,
some feathers.
Really says, I have a friend from 6 years old, but I just dropped two of them. Oh,
I get it.
are you dropping people?
Selfishly, if somebody calls me selfish, I wear it proudly.
Oh wow, amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, you have to be your authentic self and the right people will, you'll attract the right people and the toxic people will wither away. So that's good. If they're
Best
depleting your
thing
energy.
about sorry. Um, Best thing about having a career is that you know where to spend your energy on. So if sometimes there is something happening with friends and the politics, and they're against you or they are envying you or jealous of you, all that, you don't need to care about it, which is why women should always put their mind to use something productive, something constructive. Like, you don't need to have a job to be productive. Be at home and do something. The 80s and 90s kids, the best thing about them is parents used to instill hobbies into their
Mm.
kids. How else were we supposed to fill up our time? So we were collecting stamps, or we were reading comics, or we would, like, I don't know, like, collect. I was learning how to sew and knit and paint, and my mom had like a no limit budget on it. She's like, as long as this is something that is building up your skills, I'm ready to pay whatever you want. So painting as well. So if I don't have a job tomorrow, God forbid, if I have nothing to do, I know I'll be happy as a clam just painting my life away.
Yeah, Iman is an amazing artist, by the way, guys. I think that's where her son gets it from too.
Oh,
Mashallah. Okay, so I think the biggest takeaway from this conversation is me time. You guys, you girls, need to take out some me time for yourself, even if it's half an hour, like Iman does first thing in the morning, half an hour, just calming your nervous system down, going for a walk, meditation, listen to something positive. I know mornings are usually crazy, especially now when the school starts. So if morning is not possible for you, once the kids go to school, once you've dropped them, if they've taken the bus to school, just carve out, like, start with 15 minutes and stretch it to 30 minutes or even more. It is, trust me, it's a game changer. It's going to change your life, your mindset. You'll be happier. You'll be more content. You'll be more at peace. Find something that you enjoy. It doesn't have to be something go boxing with Iman. Iman will take you boxing again.
yes.
Or or listen to a a positive affirmations or a positive podcast or an audible, a book, whatever it is that you enjoy. It has to be something you enjoy, not something you have to do, because it's not going to be fun then, and you're going to just not going to do it. You're not going to continue it. So,
Yeah.
any last advice, suggestions, Iman, before we wrap up this wonderful conversation?
Uh, I think definitely women should focus more on number one, utilizing their time well, focusing on themselves. You have said it numerous times. I am saying it again at the end. Spend half an hour in the morning being with yourself, talking to yourself, patting yourself on the back for just coming up to this point, building up that strength to deal with whatever is coming your way during the day. Be flexible. We're human. Nature abhors straight lines. Nothing happens A, B, C. It's always up and down. So you have to flow like water as well. And if you keep yourself flexible, you keep your expectations to a minimum, and understand that we're not born here to be perfect. We are not here to get applause from people. We're just here to do our role and do it well, and to keep this strong.
Absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much, Iman. This was a wonderful conversation. I'm super excited about our podcast that's coming up soon. Um, and I know this Iman's got stuff that she just wants to put out there, and I'm yeah, exactly. It's bubbling up for her. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you so much, Iman, for your time and doing this last minute. I really appreciate it. Really good pointers there, takeaways from today's conversation. If you're watching live, thank you for being here live. If you're watching on replay, thank you for watching the replay. And please do leave your comments and suggestions. And if you want to reach Iman, Iman, what is your handle?
For Facebook, for Instagram,
Whatever. How can people reach you?
if they usually just put Iman Adnan, um,
Facebook?
they'll yeah, Facebook or Instagram or TikTok,
Okay, hold
and it
on.
usually has my email and numbers.
All right, I'm just going to put that up there. Wheelie says, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
She's joining us all the way from Singapore, and it's almost 1 a.m. there. So, Wheelie,
Wow,
thank you for being with us. Yeah, she's amazing. She comes on my
dedicated.
Sunday. Yeah, very, very. She comes on my Sunday sessions every Sunday. Oh, I do a free session, just to put it out there. I do free sessions every Sunday at 11:30 a.m. EST time. Um, thank you. She said she will follow. This is free healing sessions, about an hour for anybody who needs it. We do different topics, and I have a Sunday WhatsApp group. So if you want to join that group where we discuss the topic, and the Zoom link is there as well. So if you guys want to join, hop on. All are welcome from any part of the world. We actually have people from Spain, we leave from Singapore, we have India, we have UK, and obviously Canada and US. So it's a global audience. Beautiful. Iman, you should join us as well. And thank you again for being here. Yes, 1 a.m., she says. Yes. All right, beautiful. Wonderful conversation. Again, Iman, thank you so much for being here. I'm, again, looking forward to the podcast, and we will announce it soon.
Thank you
So,
for having
everyone,
me.
take care. Thank you for being here.
Bye bye.
Bye.